Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with Denver-based jazz trumpeter Ron Miles on the 2020 CD Rainbow Sign. We caught up with him in the fall of 2020 to talk about his new album coming out during a pandemic. It's a deeply personal journey for him. He wrote most of the new album as his father was passing away. It was the summer of 2018, and as Ron put it, his relationship with his dad was transitioning. He remembers his dad being a lifelong mentor and friend on whom he could always rely. It's a great story, great album. Enjoy.
Nice to hear from you again. How's life?
Good, thank you. Yourself?
Oh, good, man. It was great to see new material come out.
Oh, thank you very much. No, it's a real blessing to have this all work out like this.
Wonderful.
Especially in this crazy time.
Oh, man. That's. I guess that's kind of at the top of this before we get into the actual artistic construction of Rainbow Sign. I want to kind of get an idea from you, like early to mid-March, like when everything started kind of happening and you realized we were heading into something that was really heavy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think that the last performance I did was at the Lionel Hampton Festival was Still Dreaming. And what I didn't know, and I actually just heard it on a podcast in the last couple of weeks, is that there was a positive test at the festival. And they, it was so new that the producers of the festival didn't know what to do and just decided not to, alarm folks and let them know. And they were able to isolate whatever ensemble it was. And then we got on the plane and left and came home, and then it all just kind of shut down. So I was, teaching and everything. And so the immediate thing was figuring out how to get everything online at the last minute, and so that was a lot of mental activity, and then the realization really that there weren't going to be performances took a while to hit, because there was just so much to do at that time, and then the reality, like, wait, our whole world that we've kind of structured up playing and interacting and developing material and getting better and the relationship to our families, that that all of us have had this kind of family dynamic where we're home for a while, we're gone for a while, now we're all home all together. All of this, it was just, I'm amazed that we're at this place right now. It's been that long, and we're still figuring stuff out every day. So anyway, that's what I was thinking, as we reflect back March.
Yeah, it is. It's all very crazy, and I guess the other part of this is that you're releasing an album during a pandemic, and I've heard from artists that there's going to be a special place in the annals of jazz music for albums that come out. What are your thoughts on this coming out during a pandemic?
Thing I hope is that people are wanting to have new music in their life. I certainly have, and I've been listening to podcasts and going online and buying CDs, and now our CD store is open and going, and so the music has been an incredible balm during this time. So I'm hoping that since we can't go hear music live, that the recordings will have a different, even a more prominent resonance in our lives.
I did read in a thread before I hopped on this call with you that your father was ill during the construction of this album.
Yeah.
That had to provide, not only with what's going on with the world right now, but have such a close relationship. How did that influence your music and how you were living your life? Yeah,
I mean, it generated almost all the music on this album, really. I mean, because I think that for me, the generation of music has always been incredibly mysterious. Because I look back on it, it usually is some kind of emotional turning point in my life that seems to stimulate a batch of songs. And so as my father was transitioning and our relationship started to change, where more and more time was spent taking care of him from all of us in our family, not just me, but like going to get him lunch, giving him a bath, making sure he does his walks, taking him to the doctor, all these kinds of things. The time not with him was spent sitting at the piano and coming up with these songs. So it was a chance to just reflect on how much he meant to me, and I think that, again, it's not a straight line, that journey. You for 1 minute, this person's giving you a ride and telling you what to do and taking you places and offering you advice, and then you find yourself doing some of these same things for them. And as he comes to accept that, and you learn how to do it better, and at the end, I think I feel good that we made it to a good place at the end, and he was able to see from all of us how much we loved him and how we would do anything to take care of him. So
that's wonderful. Yeah. What's the exact meaning behind the title Rainbow Sign?
Well, I look at rainbows from a few different places. One, in Revelations, when Christ comes back, this idea that he is like a rainbow to the people who see him when he comes back. That kind of encompassing all of us in this person, and also the fact that rainbows are this kind of highway between heaven and earth. That when rainbows come out, that it's supposed to be a sign, a way that we can connect with our elders who've gone on, and so both those things, I think, made this have to be the title.
So I know, listening to this, I've garnered a lot of joy out of it. Ultimately, what would you like the listener to get from this experience, from this brand new project that's obviously deeply personal during a very surreal time on planet Earth?
Yeah, well, thank you. I'm glad that you're getting a lot of joy, and that's in the end what I hope people get from it. Because I hope that the music, I think to put out an album, and all of us go through this when we generate art, that if it's merely something that is personal, in some ways it feels maybe a little bit selfish, that there has to be a way in for the listeners to find themselves and be able to tell their own story. And that's what I feel, when I listen to Mary Lou Williams, or I listen to Thelonious Monk. I mean, I hear their story, but I hear something that relates to where I am. And I see different things in different points of our lives. So that's what we always hope, I think, as songwriters, is to make music that can stand repeated listenings or repeated playings. And those two people, they've been really in my mind a lot lately, Joplin and Mary Lou and Thelonious Monk, as composers who and performers who have that in their music. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of that in some of my music.
When we do return, which still is shrouded in ambiguity, but it's going to happen. Yeah. But when that happens, what do you hope both musician and the audience realizes about this absence of live jazz? Well, I hope that everybody is, in a way, I feel we did, but it's good to have a reminder of how connected we are, how symbiotic the relationship is between listeners and performers, because we hopefully realize that we're, as performers, we are essentially music fans and listeners too, and so this sense that we also haven't been able to go hear music, because we kind of take it for granted because we're playing it so much that we can just go, go play, hear it and stuff. Like, we're not getting any new music either. So from the live performance, so I hope it becomes, just like anything that's taken away from us a bit, we come back with a renewed sense of appreciation for the sacred relationship that it is really between all of us who love music. Beautiful. Ron, hey, thank you for taking some time out to talk about the album in this very strange world we're in. Oh, brother, thank you so much, and I hope you like the music, and like you said, you get joy out of it. This is one of the first times I've actually had a chance to speak to people who heard the record, because no one's heard it other than me, and not even the band has really heard it, I don't think, at this point. So, wow. So it means a lot just to get a chance to talk to you and hear that you like the music. So thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for listening and tuning in to another Neon Jazz interview. We give you a bit of insight into the finest players in Denver, Kansas City, and spots all over the world, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Ron for his time, cool, and energy. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino in the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com, and for everything Neon Jazz all the time, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.